So thank you for coming on,
Yeah.
Vinaya. No, Vinaya.
Yeah.
Vinaya.
Yes.
I've read a bit about your story. I'd love to
Uh-huh.
hear it from you. Like, you've had a hell of a journey, and yeah,
I
please tell me a little
do.
bit about it.
Okay. So, well, I grew up trying to be a good German, which after 20 years, I really finally figured, no, that's not happening. I'm not fluent. And yeah, and I was like, damn, if life is being born, learning to walk and talk, go to school, make a profession, make children, work, die, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So there must be more to life. So I started looking for something, and what came was like years before I saw a picture of the Himalayas, and I go like, wow, I need to go there. And I remembered that, and so I just took off from Germany overland to India in the mid 70s.
Also, it was overland. No
Yeah,
flights. It was just, oh my God, that's a hell of a journey.
that was wow, I tell you, like with buses and hitchhiking and like local and it was just amazing. It really opened my eyes to, yeah, well, when you grow up in a tight box, that's what life is. And then you come Turkey, Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Nepal, seeing all these different ways of living that already opened my eyes to, yeah, there is no box. We are all, there's many ways of being able to live.
Yes.
And I was still looking for something without actually knowing what I'm looking for.
I
I was
think
kind
there's a
of,
lot of people there right now.
yeah, yeah. But then I met a master, Osho, and just meeting that guy was like, okay, I'm not crazy. There's more to life. Wow. Just his energy and his beingness was like, okay. And then I started working on myself and becoming more aware of the programs and doing groups and do all this kind of meditation work and what have you not. And yeah,
So, just curious, before Osha, I,
uh-huh.
that, were you into this sort of stuff, or is it more you just experienced more through your travel, and when you met
It
him, it's like two moments collided?
it was more like it was both. I was like when I was in India, I went. I remember one time in Varanasi at the Ganges, there was a master. So I went in a rowboat over the river in the plains opposite the city, where this master had put up his tents and did meditation and all of that. But it was nothing. It was just, it didn't click.
Yep.
So I was basically just being a hippie and traveling around and having a great time and being open to experience something different. Yeah, and especially India was supposed to be the country where you find the masters and the answers and all of that. And yeah, it didn't. Nothing really clicked until I went to Poona and met this guy Osho, where it was just the presence of the guy was like, okay, I'm in the right place.
Yep. It,
Still had no
his
clue. It was just basically, yeah, okay, meditate, go inside, become aware of your programs, get rid of them. Well, you can't get really rid of them, but once you're aware of them and they come up, you go like, oh yeah, well, okay, no.
yeah,
You have the,
you're back again. Not today.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, eventually, basically, it's just really understanding physically also, not just, and not understanding in the head, but knowing in the heart who I really am. And that, I mean, I was free, period, anyways, but now there was the awareness of freedom. of yes, there's nothing to worry about, nothing to think about, just be in the moment and flow with the story and be present. And that again made life another 10 notches more wow.
Yeah, I must say that's something I'm still in the process of getting more consistent at. I get to those moments, but
Yeah.
whereas you probably embody that most of your daily life, I'm not there
Yeah.
yet.
You know, it does, I fall out. Don't worry about it, but become aware, or the faster we become aware that, oops, I'm in the story right now, oops, I'm reacting, um, it's gone
Yeah.
because it doesn't make any difference anymore. And yeah,
Okay.
it's,
Here's a good question. Well, good question from my point of view, anyway.
uh
When you do notice that you're out,
yeah,
do you have a specific set of steps that get you back in, or do you just is it just literally, oh, I'm out now, I'm back in?
yes, there's mainly that is it. The awareness is there. Oops. Even though I'm sitting here in my chair in Mexico, in my mind, I was suddenly in Japan or somewhere, past or what, And then as soon as you become aware of it, I'm basically out of it because then I'm back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's needed to have a little exercise where when one is in panic. I remember one time I was in Costa Rica and went to this river and took all my clothes off and did my little splashing around and had a great time. And then I wanted to take my clothes back, and oops, they were gone. I was 100% sure they were on the left side of the riverbank. I knew it, 100%.
Yeah.
So I went up and down like 5, 6 times and like, fuck, do I have to run around naked now? Where's my clothes? And then I remembered this one exercise when you're in a panic like this, just fucking stop.
Yeah.
Take a few breather and become present. So I did that. And then suddenly I realized, because I was looking around beautiful nature and I wasn't panicking because when you breathe, you're back in your presence. And then I realized, oops, the river was splitting a little bit above and there's two left banks.
Nice.
If I would have stayed in my panic, I would probably just even not look around. I would just go another 10 times up and down and go then naked into the village and get to my place. But just stopping, becoming conscious of your breath and then being present and then acting out of awareness is another little method.
Yeah. Yeah. So just taking the time. I love it. Like it's simple. It's I think that might be easier for yourself than for some of the people that might be watching. But like I have done that before. I just did that at the start of this podcast actually, and just took a few moments, a couple of breaths, and it does. If it doesn't get you right in the moment, at least gets you not so panicked.
Yes, it gets you more relaxed. But basically, if I really just become conscious of how my breath goes in and out,
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically out of my mind because I can't do these two things at the same time. I can't be mind and at my breath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the mind comes back a split second later, but then I'm already in a state of somewhat of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I can't stop my mind. That's one thing people like to really understand is like
No.
the mind is unstoppable. And the funny part is like if I say to myself, be quiet, get out of your mind, da, da, da. Who's actually talking to the mind? It's my mind. So it doesn't bloody work. So we can't shut it up. But when we become conscious of the breath, I'm here and not here anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
then I constantly can come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, If only it was that easy for everybody all the time. I,
Well,
I, I know it can be, but it takes
yeah,
practice.
it takes remembrance and awareness and practice. And what I learned in my many, many years of working with people and helping people to go on their path is one really important part where most of us have had pretty much severe traumas.
Yeah.
And when when a situation happens where life is in danger, or like it's I need to fight or I need to flee, but
Hmm.
I'm not able to do that, then I go into a kind of freeze state,
Yes.
and then energy stays. Okay, so even when I was really little and I had a big trauma, being it physical or sexual or mental, I'm in the freeze state, and that stays. And when I'm in that, when I haven't released that physically, then it is not easy to just be in the present, because in the background that is running me. I'm
Yes.
constantly in this free state. So for many of us, it's really important to release trauma, but it's not through talking. It's a physical phenomenon. So I have to physically, because the energy stays in our nervous system, in our cellular system, and
Hmm.
that needs to be released. So for many of us, this would be pretty much the first step. And then one is more free and is not run by this background program or energy. So actually, it's easy. And sometimes one needs to do some work before one is actually able to, ah,
Yes. Yes, that is true. Um,
yeah,
excuse me. Do you have, like you said about the techniques, if you're working with somebody, because I know you do some work which is quite unusual, in that you work with crystals.
yeah.
Could you explain that to me? Is that one of the processes that you would use if somebody is experiencing that? Is that how you'd help them release some of
No,
that energy? No?
no. The readings I give is with the help of crystals. I will, with the permission of the client, connect energetically, and then I'm basically a medium for their higher self. And what comes out is what needs to be heard for that person in this moment to move on and become more aware and finding out who they really are. So when trauma comes up, like sometimes it's like, whoa, okay, you have trauma, right? Yeah. Okay, that is the first step. And then I refer them to either my partner or it depends somebody else who does trauma release exercises and trauma release work physical, because I'm not able to do this. I can't necessarily relate because fortunately or what, I never had a huge trauma in my life. I really had yeah, okay, I had accidents and stuff, but not in the childhood any major trauma, which many of us have.
Yes.
Can't really relate, but my partner does trauma work and somatic body work. So then that is needed. When that is needed, I refer them. And yeah, she has various different ways of doing that. And one which we do now for the last 6 years is 5-MeO therapy, which is
Sorry, could
not a
you say that one
psychedelic.
more time?
It's 5-MeO therapy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an ethnogenic. It's a natural medicine. Well, it's synthetic available too now, but it came from a toad, and it's an ethnogenic, not a psychedelic. So psychedelics is still being in the mind.
Yeah.
An ethnogenic brings us out of the duality into the oneness. And that medicine has an innate ability to trigger this trauma response, to release it physically. So that's another method of doing that. And once people are more free of their stuck energy, of their freeze mode, then I can come in with coaching and integrating these experiences. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing, people. Yes,
Yeah. I might be a little bit narrowing my understanding, but I've never heard of that before. So that's really interesting to me.
it's an amazing medicine. It came originally from the Sonoran Desert. There's a toad, UFO, and very recently there's no really an old way of, like with ayahuasca. This has been around for thousands of years. People were using that. This one wasn't really used by the native too much, and some, I forgot the name, scientist found out, start experimenting with that, and it's called the God molecule
Whoa.
because it can bring us into the space of oneness, non-duality, and that is an amazing experience. Kind of
Yeah.
really physically embodying that experience is wow. It changes one's life intensely.
Is it
Bring,
possible? I don't feel like I've experienced that in my life. So is it possible to even describe what that feels like?
um, no, if you ever, if you've never been in love, or even try to explain the color yellow, uh, it's impossible. If you have taken
Yep.
acid or mushrooms in your life, try to explain that. No, it's undescribable, and it is different for everybody.
Okay. So there's
So, but
like you can talk
that
about it, but you can
you
tell
have
that
to,
the experience is different.
yeah, you have to experience it to really know. The understanding is that I'm out of duality. There's neither this nor that. There's just isness. And
Yep.
having that taste, then with proper integration, I can bring that into my life and be present, be myself, and not being stuck in this duality. Okay, we always fall back, but since we had this experience, and always come back.
Yeah. Yeah. So once you know where the path is, like when you've got the map,
Yeah,
it's easy to find your way back to the source effectively.
yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
So,
Okay. I'm just going to sit back for a minute and go and absorb that in a little. Okay. While I'm doing that, tell me a little bit more, if you're happy to, go into a little bit more about how you came to use crystals as a conduit to being a medium with people. That's not something I've heard. I've heard of people working with crystals, but not
yeah.
working with crystals as a medium. That's something new to me.
I don't know if anybody else is doing it actually, but how it came to pass was when I was living in India, I came across the book of Thoth, the tarot thing, the tarot or explainer or whatever you want to call it. And I was really intrigued because I was always a little bit, well, definitely a lot different than most of the people. And I could always sort of detect the energy behind the story, the mask we are putting out. So suddenly that clicked. Oh, wow, this is something I can share with people, and it's a good way to let them know what's actually going on. So I was working a little bit with the tarot deck, and it was very early. It was in the early 80s. And then slowly it became a little bit more famous. And then I realized that, well, it doesn't work for me because even if when 10 people turn over for 10 people, I turn over the Tower card, for example, or the Five of Swords or whatever, they know the card. So they have an idea of what it means, and
Yes.
they're not. And the thing is, it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing, or it hardly ever means the same thing for the next person. So there's like
Ah.
in the meaning of it. So I realized this doesn't work for me. Since I was 16, I was a crystal freak. I was in love with crystals. And while I was working in the ashram in Osho, in Poona, I was giving groups also in the end. I realized that I know the energetics of crystals because I have a certain vibration and I can harmonize when something is out of alignment in the body. If I do a certain kind of frequency, like a sound or a crystal, or there's many ways of harmonizing the frequency of the disturbance so that one can kind of clean up one's energy. So I was working with that a little bit, and suddenly it just came. Use crystals as a medium and give readings. So now I have an array of crystals, 21 different kind of
And they've all got
minerals.
different frequencies.
And once we connect it, you select a crystal. And it can be online as well because I have a picture of all these crystals on my website. You select a crystal, I take it in my hand, and I start talking. And I do this for like 25, 30 years. And even though my mind sometimes comes in and goes like, you can't say that. Are you crazy? Seriously, it's like in the background, like, what? Um, I do say it because it's like basically I'm stepping aside and I'm not listening to my mind. I just talk. I just
Yeah.
let it flow. And I always see it's constantly perfectly on the spot. Really hits the nail on the head. And don't ask me how it works.
But it works.
But it
Okay.
works.
I hadn't planned on doing this, but I'm so damn curious. Is it possible for you to do that with me as a just a short little thing to show people what you do? Is that a possibility?
Yeah. Okay. So what we need to do is you have my website.
I do. Let's have a look. Yes. Go to the crystal layout.
Exactly. So hang on, I need
So,
to.
but yeah. By the way, the website details will be below in the description. So anybody that wants to go and have a look at this stuff, just click the link below. Oh,
Okay.
yep. I see all of the
Crystals. Okay.
crystals. Yep.
And I have myself. Okay. So first of all, I need to ask permission to connect with you energetically.
You have my permission.
Thank you. So please close your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
conscious of your breath while I connect. Oh, what is the name you would like to be addressed with?
Nigel.
Michael,
Sorry, Nigel.
Nigel.
Yes,
Okay. Nigel, do I have permission to connect with you energetically?
absolutely.
Thank you. Stay conscious with your breath. We guide spirit, Dr. Spirit, purpose of Nigel. Please let me be a clear channel and guide to convey what needs to be conveyed for the highest good and benefit of all. Without judgment and compassion. Thank you. We guide spirit, Dr. Spirit, help us, please protect us from all non-beneficial energies and information during this session. Okay. Give me a crystal.
Okay, number six. I wasn't even trying to look, but that's the one that poked out to me first. So number six.
That's the correct one, number six. And a number between 1 and 60.
59 came to my mind.
59. Okay. Excuse my sneezing, but
No problems. Bless you, should I say.
okay. To really step into your power, power meaning your gifts and your ability, you want to do a little exercise. You focus on your intention, your goal, that what you want to achieve. Say, be more of service or whatever it is you feel like is in are your gifts, the direction, your power, your ability. You have your intention, drop it. First steps into the direction, and then, and that's the important part, forget about the goal. Enjoy the journey.
Yes,
You hear what I'm saying?
I do. Very much so.
Brings you into the present, out of the future, totally relaxedness. Okay, I'm on my path. Ah, wow, what a day. Wow, what an experience. I learned this, or da 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 da. And it's the goal is not important. The
No.
path, the enjoyment, the celebration of the journey is the important part. And then actually, funny enough, you're already there.
Yeah, I certainly feel
That's
like I've gotten closer lately to just
and that
living the
and
path.
that you can empower yourself. That brings you power. That brings you mana, like they say in Hawaii. Yeah. Does that resonate?
Yeah, it does. It does. I feel like I've started walking the path more alive lately. And before that, it was always about goals and
And
ambitions,
it's
even if they were small. It was always about something beyond.
yes. And it's not walking, it's enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
That's a little
It's a
on top of
extra. It's an extra oomph.
yes, an extra oomph, it's like, wow. I'm on my way and wow, what a journey. What an wow. And so
That's awesome. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Is that enough for you or you want something more?
No, it's enough. I just wanted for you to be able to demonstrate it because I was curious, and I'm figuring some people that are watching would be very curious as well. So if there's more that you feel needs to come through, sure. Otherwise, I hope
There's
this is a
probably
great
more.
taste.
There's probably more, but that would reading normally takes between half an hour and an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
But
And I
so
think
yeah, and but so when we're done, let me energetically disconnect. Okay, please
yes.
close your eyes.
Yes.
Become conscious of your breath. Oh. Ah. Great guy, Spirit, Doctor Spirit, help us of Nigel. Thank you. Disconnecting now. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
my
cool.
pleasure.
So yeah, for anybody watching, that's just a really small snippet of what it's like. And clearly, it goes beyond that,
It goes
but
beyond
it's
that. It depends on the person. There's like they. So this was the first crystal. Then there could be like two, three, four, five more. Depends what comes and how much needs to be said.
Mhm.
And the second part, then, if there are any decisions one has to make, or wants to have some clarity about, how to relate or how to whatever, then we look at the energetics of the decisions, like this job or that job. What is
Oh,
energetic for you there and there, so you can make a informed decision which
yes.
feels
Yeah, which
yeah.
is kind of, I know there's been plenty of moments in my life where there's been decisions there and they both feel kind of right, but not completely right. And it's very confusing.
Yes,
So
can be.
I could see how something like this would be quite helpful to get more in touch
It-
energetically.
yes, it is. And yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. Unprompted, I had no plans of going there with you, but do you have some water?
Uh, no, but nice smoothie my partner just brought me. Yeah, I'm under the weather. It's an experience. I mean,
Absolutely. It's
it's
part of the journey to enjoy. Okay, there's a good question because it's something
yeah,
I've had to kind of feel into a little bit. How can you enjoy the journey in the low part? So when you're sick, when things aren't working well, how do you combine that true zest and enjoyment of life in those low moments? Because I'm imagining that no matter how zestful you are, those moments still exist.
yes, they do. And it's the way I look at the story. I can like shit, I'm sick and oh fuck, I hate it and that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is I'm sick. I get over it, no worries. Right now I have a sneezy nose. Not right now I cough. Right now I don't have much energy. If I don't put a judgment on it and take it as suchness, it doesn't necessarily mean that I enjoy it. And I'm totally relaxed. I know it's gonna go, and I just cruise with it and respond accordingly. So I'm not doing a marathon run or anything crazy. I'm just hanging out in bed or being relaxed or whatever my body needs in order to heal, to get out of the dis-ease.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I broke my arm. Okay, I have a broken arm. It's neither good nor bad. It's such. And somewhat enjoyment is not necessarily the right word. It's more like there is no problem. There is no tension. There is no anxiety. There's just acceptance. This is the way it is. Finish story.
Yep.
And then I go with it. Answers your question.
It does. It does. It's still, it clearly is a sign of my mind wanting to take over and take me out of the moment. Because I know when I have those moments of being completely present, all that I feel is gratitude.
Yeah,
No matter what's going on around me, I'm not thinking about the future. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm just in the moment, and there's an awe about life in those moments. I
absolutely.
don't think I've reached that moment when I've been sick or sad or anything like that. So that's why I was asking the question, because it feels harder for, at least my experience, it feels harder to be present in those lower places than it does in a, if like if you're just watching a sunset, it's kind of easy to be in the moment.
Yes. Okay, so now we go another step down.
Mm-hmm.
If I observe an object I have to do this from outside an object.
Hmm.
So I'm the observer of
Yes.
computer in front of me or whatever. I can observe pain. Yeah, I can.
Hmm.
It's in my knee. In the knee, there is pain. I suddenly am not identified with pain.
Yep.
It's very subtle and it works like a charm. I can observe the traffic up in my head. I'm not in my head. I'm not angry. There is anger. There is pain. There is a beautiful sunset. There is a sneezy nose. I'm suddenly disidentified with the story. And I'm just observing. And then really it doesn't matter if it's something negative or positive.
Hmm.
And also the sunset. Wow, it's just an observation. And then the wow comes in, and I can observe that too.
Yeah.
Suddenly, bit by bit, I become detached from everything. It doesn't matter. The mind puts the good or bad in.
Yes, definitely.
But in the end, I'm just observing the story which is happening inside and outside. Well, I'm not inside the me, the real me, but inside this vessel I'm inhabiting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that
it's,
makes a lot of sense to me.
yeah,
Um, like I'm not well practiced at it. I keep falling out of this space, but I'm not sure if it's part of your teachings, but I've heard of the seat of self, which is
yeah.
basically pulling
We go
back until you're observing everything, which is what you're kind of describing.
It's
And
basically what all the masters say,
mm,
and it's nothing new.
no.
It's just a way of how to get there. And on my YouTube channel, there's a 5-week course of how to be more in the space of the watcher, and it's fun. And just for the fun of it, the first week you are supposed to watch a movie. That's
Hmm.
the meditation. That's the exercise. The trick is you sit down, you turn your TV on or your computer, whatever, and you just become aware in this moment that you're sitting on the couch watching. So you start watching the movie, and almost guaranteed at one point, you either get sad or angry or annoyed, depending on the story of the movie. Become aware because in that moment, you're not sitting on the couch, you're in the movie.
Yep.
You are identified with the story, but you're sitting on the bloody couch watching the movie. So you become aware in that moment and come back to the couch and observe the movie, observe the tears, what that triggers in you, and just be present again. So that
Yeah.
would be the first exercise. And, you know, it's
And
fun to watch. And then suddenly, like, yeah. So, and then by and by, we go in so that then we can observe the mind, the body, and the emotions. And trust me, I forget it, but the more often you forget, the more often you remember.
this is
Because in
true.
order to have a remembrance, and the forgetting gets shorter and shorter in length because I become more and more aware that I'm not aware.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense as well. It's like practicing towards mastery.
Yeah, being the master of oneself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though there's
That's
nobody
cool.
to be master of, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But again, anybody that's interested in this sort of stuff, I'm going to have the link to that 5-week course below. So go and check it out. It sounds interesting. like I said, I know a little bit of this stuff, but I don't practice it all the time. So finding ways where I can remind myself to go back there is really, really helpful.
Yes. Yes, because one becomes free,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, so
And
I'm not stuck in the story. I just observe the story. Okay, the story, the pain is there, but it's not me. It's in the knee. I can see it. I can observe it. And it does.
I think we broke up there for a tick. The internet might not be so good. Vinaya, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Ah, the gratefulness I feel.
Okay,
But even that, I'm the one who's not.
sorry, Vinaya. Vin, oh, I can't remember how to pronounce your name now. I lost your audio for a moment there.
Oh, yeah, my internet was. How far did we go?
I think we were. It was just after. I can't remember now. Let it go. Doesn't matter. We can deal with that as it needs to be dealt with. Um, okay. So I want to. I want to let you send a message to anybody that might be watching of what you think is probably your most important lesson in life through your travels, through your studies, through your experiences up till now. Is there something in there that's like, this is the cornerstone of everything beyond what we've talked about, which is, you know, disassociating yourself from the the story of the world?
Yeah, and the story of your existence. Is there anything?
Because I don't know if it's even a smart question. I'm just curious if there's something else in there.
Yeah, well, okay, two things which are always coming up. Well, always not, but very, very often in coaching and readings is A, judgment.
Yes.
Judgment is one of our favorite pastimes. The mind loves it.
Yep. Mine's on board.
What an idiot. Oh, this is a bad situation. Or what, right? Well, actually, when we become aware of, I don't actually know if the broken leg is bad. In order for that, let me tell you a little story. I love that story. There was a farmer, poor, raggedy had a son who wasn't really helpful, and he had a horse. So the villagers came to him and go like, "Hey, dude, the horse is a curse. It's not good. You know, you can hardly feed yourself, and you have to work, and you are old, and da 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 da." Farmer goes, "Well, I don't know if it's a curse or bad. I just know I have a horse." Cool. Week later, the king passes by, sees the horse, goes to the farmer and goes, "Dude, anything. I need that horse. You can have whatever you want." Wow, the villager go like, "You were right. The horse is a blessing. Now you're all good." And da 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 da. Farmer goes, "I don't know if it's a blessing. I just know I can't do it. It's part of the family." A few days later, the horse is gone. "Oh, it's a curse. You could have had everything. Oh my God. I don't know. It's just, the horse is gone." Story goes on. The horse comes back a few weeks later with seven other horses. "Oh, it's a blessing. Now you have eight horses." "I don't know. I just know I have eight horses."
Yeah.
The son tries to tame one of the wild ones, falls down, breaks his leg. "Oh, it's a curse." War comes to land. Everybody has to go, probably not coming back except the young man because he had a broken leg. "Oh, it's a blessing." You get the idea?
Oh, I get the idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have no bloody clue whatsoever. So become aware of these judgments. and just take it as, okay, I have a broken leg. Okay, I
Yep.
won in the lottery. If it's good or bad, I don't know. I just know this is like this. And the same goes, and that ties into the other very important story, judgment of others and judgment of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I invite everybody to have a look around.
Okay.
And if you find anything in nature, in an existence, which is not perfect, which does not have a place, which is not needed, I give you $1 million I don't have. But I don't need to give it to you because there is nothing in existence which is not created perfect. God existence does not create anything imperfect. I might not necessarily understand it, but God does not create anything imperfect.
Yes. Perfect.
Obviously, I'm perfect. So where comes this idea that I have to grow to be more this, be more that, or achieve this or that? Then I'm good. Then I'm perfect. That comes
Yes.
from my mother or from the society. That's been told to us, and we started to believe it. Now just ask yourself, who is the greater authority? Your mother or existence?
Let me think about that one for a moment. Oh, it's close. It's close. My mum's pretty wise, but no, I'm going to have to go with existence on this one.
I have to go with existence because, yeah. And so when we accept ourselves as perfect, I'm this way. That's who I am.
Yes.
You might like it and you not. I don't care. I love it because I love myself. I like myself. I accept myself.
Yes.
Well, apparently I'm full of shit, but that's according to some other people. Then suddenly I can also accept everybody else. I
Mm-hmm.
might not vibe with it. I might have a different way of life or frequency, and I don't necessarily hang around. But that's you. And boom, I don't need to change you. That's your life.
My thoughts on that from just from where I come from is yes, we are perfect as we are, and when we're in the moment, when we accept ourselves as we are perfect. Doesn't mean we don't change though, because we're still going to keep changing, but we don't
Yes,
change to satisfy something outside of us.
correct.
Yeah, so it's the why of change. Like I guess I'm in my head while we're talking about this. We're not even aware that we're trying to change when we're living in the moment, are we? We are just being.
There's nothing to
So,
change right now. Absolutely perfect.
but you are changing still.
I am changing still, but that does not come out of a need from, like you have to
Yeah,
be blah, blah, blah. That if not, my mother is not here and tells me right now, she told me many times before, so it's in my head. No, that's not why I'm getting up now and wash the dishes or shave or this. No, I suddenly have an inspiration, a feeling of moving or doing something.
yeah,
Not coming out of my head, it's coming out of my beingness when I'm in the moment. Yes, I'm changing, not for a goal, but for, ah, I'm doing this now,
yeah,
which will change me. But it comes out of the moment.
yes. It's not planned.
No,
Well, not by us.
well, yes. Yeah, well. Hardly this was, yeah, I don't know. That's like getting into the story where we don't really never can get an answer. You know, it's like, are we predestined? Are we like on the path which is like already put out, or are we free willed? And is there still a destiny in there? You know what? Doesn't bloody matter.
It's fun to talk about, but yes, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I don't, because also it's like, I don't know. And I will never figure it out. So why waste energy in that? No, be here, enjoy. Ha, experience. Woo. For what reason? I have no fucking clue. I don't know. And there's one saying from Osho I really love, and I have to quote that. Life is a mystery which cannot be understood, but it can be lived.
Ooh, yeah, that's an excellent quote. Love that.
So no need to understand. Philosopher tried for 100,000 of years to figure that out. Nobody came up with an answer. Maybe there is no answer. It's just the
Looks
way
like
it
I'm out of a
is.
hobby. I
Yeah.
think you just, yeah, my hobby's gone now. It's just,
Yeah.
nah, it'll still be a hobby. Because if it's fun, it's fun. If it's what I feel like doing at the time, it's what I feel like
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. I like to try use this exercise right now just for the fun of it. But yeah. And what gives you, it gives you also an enormous amount of freedom because even though unconscious all my life, I had, or I wasn't aware of the benefit of that, or I wasn't even aware of that I function like that. I never had a goal. I never knew what I'm going to do next. I was always just, ever since I started on my journey to India, I really had no idea where to go. And then I was in India, and then suddenly I was in Australia, and suddenly I was in America. And I never really had an idea or a
Yep,
dream or a goal, and just flowing in the moment. And there's no tension. There's no nothing. Okay, my mind sometimes, okay, next month you go to blah, blah, blah and do this. Okay, that's the intention. There's a plan. In the background, God is laughing because you made a plan. So laughing too. And then I flow with the moment. And if I actually get to go, maybe, maybe not. I will find out when the date comes. So
exactly.
one is totally relaxed and in the moment, and there's no pressure to get somewhere. Yes, I'm planning, I'm buying an airline ticket, lost it a few times already because suddenly something else came up and I couldn't go. I suddenly something didn't feel right. And that's also something which I really love to help people with. Don't go with your mind, go with your feeling. The mind only works from the experience and the past and has wonderful arguments to do or not to do.
It does.
And it's never right. It knows how to repair a car and, do the 3D things, but about life and me, what is important, has no clue. And I follow my heart for the last 50 years, ever since that one incident where I decided to go to India. I was so, wow, happy, actually, excited. I went to my parents and I go like, I'm going to India, damn, it's gonna be wow. My mother goes, you can't do that. Okay, why not? Perfect arguments. You have to work. You have to learn a profession, which I didn't have. You have to prepare for when you're old. What are you going to do when you're old? Perfect argument. 100% right. Luckily, my heart was so strong and I couldn't care less. And I basically just said, well, I figure out what I'm doing when I'm old, what I'm doing. Right now, I'm going to India.
Yeah.
Best following decisions I ever made in my life. And then I always followed my heart. Suddenly, blah, blah, blah came up. So I did that. And then this came up. I did that. Okay, it was great that I never had a goal or a dream to achieve. And a few times, quite a few times, I was not listening. I heard it. My favorite example, I went to town with a bike. I was in Ecuador shopping. I
Mm-hmm.
get to town, and I always put my key on my belt. Habit. This morning, for some reason, I was going to put it on my bag.
Okay.
Instantly, I knew that's not a good idea. I knew it. In a split second later, my mind goes, what's the problem? You always take care of it. Your key is safe. You're right. So I wasn't listening to my heart, to my intuition, to my gut feeling. An hour later, the bag was full, pretty heavy. I gave it to a friend who went with a taxi to my home. So I didn't need to carry it on the bike. Get it? I was in town. The key was in my home.
Mm-hmm.
I knew instantly.
Perfection.
I knew instantly. And instantly the mind goes right after and has absolutely wonderful, beautiful arguments. So to learn not to listen to the mind, but to listen to the heart, to the intuition, to the knowing is a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, the mind, that part of the mind, not the fix the car part, but the part that's always doing that stuff, I think of it as just, it's almost like a parent who's trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
But there's at least four of them there, if not more, and they're all saying different things at different times. And it doesn't necessarily keep you safe in the way you want to experience life.
Not only that, but the need for the mind, the ego to keep me safe is actually at the below that physical safe, yeah, which is I use the mind for that, right?
Mm.
Um, there is the ego wants to be safe
Yes.
and not die. So the mind, the ego stops us from actually going more and more inside and becoming more and more aware how we really are, because we are not the body, the mind, the ego, the what's it called, how you are,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, personality.
Yes.
That's the word.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We're not that. We're identified with that, and that ego does not want to die. So it will do everything to stop us from finding out who we really are and saying bye bye to the ego.
So on that thought, because for me, again, if I come back to that presence again, when I am present, I have no awareness of my ego. It doesn't feel like it exists to me in those moments. Like there's no
But
there's no conscious awareness of it. But when I'm outside of that, yes, I can definitely feel it. Does For you, is that still the case? Is it something like that where when you are fully in your present state, there's the ego is effectively not there. But the moments you do fall down, when you said, occasionally you still do, is that the ego just coming back out? Or is that a little different for you?
No, it is like that. It is like a falling in and falling out and falling in and falling out. And at the same time, the more you become aware that you are not the ego, you can just, yeah, you just basically observe it. And
Mm.
there is the asshole Vinaya coming out, or
Yeah.
or what, or the pissed one, or the what. Uh, it's basically also just a matter of laughing at the story because it's hilarious.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just,
All in all.
all in all, it's just hilarious. It's just, what? Uh, yeah,
Yeah, it's funny the way in our heads or in our egos, if you want to go with that terminology, the way we justify our actions and what we do and why we do it and how we relate to each other. If you took when you take a step back, it's all just nonsense.
yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a laughing matter. And life in a certain way is actually a joke. It's just an adventure for apparently no reason at all, even though we can make gazillions of reasons up in our mind.
Mm.
Uh, I was recently at a podcast or as a roundtable thing about what is this? Is school a matrix, a computer game? What is this? Basically, my answer was, I don't fucking care because I
Yeah.
can't figure it out anyways. It could be a school. It could be a matrix, and we are just sucked dry by some aliens. It could be a computer game designed by some higher civilization, and we are just the characters in a game played by somebody else. It could be a gazillion of things. Who cares? I'm here. You know,
Yep.
it, it doesn't matter. It's just wow. It's even if I'm a computer person or like a, like in our computer games, I heard that they actually now want to give sort of consciousness or awareness or independence
Oh.
to the characters
Okay.
so that they actually are like us. They
Yep.
do the story and are more or less independent from our control. I'm a great character. The guy who controls me must be far out because I have a fantastic life. Ah, it's just so wonderful. And I'm so grateful to have this body and
Yeah.
experience all these things. Even if I label it pain or misery or sadness, it doesn't really matter because I know, because I also experienced it again, being alive and still being alive, where we go when we leave the body. And basically, there's nothing, absolutely nothing. You just are awareness. And you're just there, and nothing happens. And
Yep.
then suddenly, everything happens.
And
And I
we're in
can,
the everything right now.
yes, and I can experience these things. And wow. And expressing and feeling the gratefulness of that. So grateful to have a body and experience all these things. Makes again life totally different, totally different. And it is a good exercise. Do once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. Just take a moment of 5. Wow. Thank you, existence. I'm so grateful to have this moment. Because in this moment, everything is fantastic. Thank you. Feeling that gratefulness, expressing that. Maybe start dancing or singing and it changes life again. Because then, yeah, it kind of permeates in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't come out of exactly what you said, but I have a weird question that kind of came up to me,
Okay.
and I feel like I half know the answer, but I'm going to go with it anyway and see what comes out. I get that from a personal experience, just being present and being in the moment with yourself and your surroundings is probably the ideal, if I can put it like that, kind of way to get through life. But considering we're in societies where there's always a lot of tension, a lot of stress, is there, and not everybody's going to be in that place of presence all the time. There's most people are going to be very ego driven, very worried about power structures, all of these sorts of things, and it does affect our experience of life, does it? In theory, it affects what happens to us in life. It doesn't affect our experience of life. Doesn't necessarily have to affect our interpretation of it, I guess. But my question is there a is there something that you could see that we could do at a small level in groups that would stretch out and begin to change elements of culture, of society, to get more people being more harmonious, things like that? I think that's where I'm trying to go with the question. Like, with your wisdom, with the place that you've been, is can you see some areas where that can be expanded more in
Yes.
connection?
Yes. And it all starts with me
Mm-hmm.
and ends with me. There's nothing I can do to change the world.
Yep.
Act. There's nothing I can do to change you.
No.
Act. What I can do is be myself. Be the light being I am. Being me. Whatever that means. And when I'm in that space of relaxedness, presence, my energy shifts, my vibration shifts. And that can be the catalysator. That's the right word? Yeah.
I'll go with that word.
Catalysator.
I know exactly what you mean. Catalyzer.
Catalyzer, yes. To change everything else.
Yeah.
Or the butterfly effect. Or the
Yeah.
100 monkey. Heard of that, right?
Sorry, say
The
that
100
last one
monkey.
again.
The 100 monkey effect.
No, I know the butterfly
There
effect. I don't
was
know that last one.
there was a study done in Japan, and there was a little island with some monkeys on it, and the scientists were feeding the monkeys and throwing the fruits and the vegetables on the feet. Somewhat, one monkey learned to clean it so it's more palatable. Then he taught all the other monkeys to clean it. And when a certain amount of monkeys learned this, suddenly, without connection to other islands and to the mainland of Japan, all the monkeys knew to clean the food before eating it. And that's called the 100 monkey effect. So the more of us who actually step into their beingness, at a certain number, the whole thing will change. And that is what we can do, being ourselves.
Yes.
Okay? People don't like it, people like it. It doesn't matter. I'm just myself.
Mm-hmm.
That vibration, that presence, that harmonized frequency I emit without doing anything, by just being myself. And I see this in festivals where I give readings and meditation courses. I just sit at my stall and people just constantly come up and go like, thank you, this is so grounding, this is that. I'm not doing anything. Yeah. I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
So that's what we can do to actually create the paradise on earth, which it actually is. We just, forgot about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Does that answer your question?
Oh, that answers my question. It was similar to the answer I was thinking you were going to come out with because I can feel where you are. So I'm like, yep. I could sense that was coming, but you popped in, so I thought it was worth asking, and it's the right answer, definitely. Well, if there's such a thing as a right and wrong, but you understand
Right,
what I mean.
I was just going to say something about that, but yeah, that's my answer.
Yes, yes,
In other people's mind, that's not the right answer. No, you have to do something. No, okay, go for it.
yeah. If they're being themselves, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't really
Okay.
do
Okay.
stage.
Because you're not feeling well, I'm going to try and wrap this up kind of quicker for you.
No, I feel
Uh,
okay. I mean, it's like it doesn't make any a change in my feeling. But yeah, no, I'm fine. Thank you.
okay. Okay. Um, okay. Right. I'm going to go with something. Okay, this is going to be a weird one. This is going to be an out there one because I wrote down a few questions that I was just a bit curious. If life as a celebration, which is kind of your philosophy, if it has a soundtrack, what are three songs you would have on that as your soundtrack to life as a celebration?
Um, there's one song I could play it for you now. It's on my YouTube channel, and it was made by the Ashram Band.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically goes, the universe is singing a song, the universe is dancing along, the universe is singing on a day like this. And it's high time to dance, and it's high time to dance, and it's high time to dance. So get up and dance. It's basically the lyrics of the song, and
That's cool.
that's yeah. Otherwise, I love for meditating or being present in doing something Mozart,
Mm-hmm.
because these old composers were actually, consciously or not, I don't know, but using frequencies which are centering, healing, and grounding. They were, yeah, they had a different vision about that. Otherwise, nothing specifically.
No, that was good. I didn't expect a song and a dance, so that was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel, and I did some pictures for it. It's an amazing song because it's it's not my philosophy, but it's my approach to life.
It's like your experience.
Yeah, the universe is singing the song. I'm here, and I'm the universe. I mean, that's a little bit of a mind fuck, but
A little.
Just a little. Uh, but somewhat true as well. But it's really, if I don't have that experience, this felt experience that I'm actually everything, and it's just spiritual bypassing. Ah. But definitely the universe is singing a song. The sun is shining, the trees are treeing, the river is rivering, the birds are birding, singing, and dancing. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that would be my.
For anybody out there who wants to get mindfucked, I want you to go through that whole mindfuck thing of you are the universe and like what is it about that is the mindfuck for you? I just want to torture some people. No, not torture. I just want to get some people thinking.
Yeah, it's yeah. In other words, like somebody asked me one time, "What do you do for fun?" My answer: shatter people's thoughts on reality and make them question their existence.
That's an odd thing to do for fun, but I love it all the same.
I love it because it actually, I can see the effect of that because it's one of my intuitive abilities that without knowing, I know exactly where to push, get the people to look. You know, like either they get angry and then maybe become aware of that, or I don't know. I love pushing buttons without actually doing it. It's just the way I am, you know. I'm not going around looking where I can push a button. I'm just going around and suddenly I do something and it pushes buttons. So coming back to the mind fact, it's like so hilarious for me and kind of dangerous because we think we know. We are one. We are love. We are this. We are that. Divine beings. Yeah, okay. In the beginning, it might be helpful to actually become aware that that is a possibility.
Yes.
But that's just mind fact. Then I have to find it. Then I have to experience it. And then I am in that space where we talked before about having a different vibration. And I don't need to tell you that we are one. I know it. I experienced it. And through that vibration, you can have a taste too. Yeah. And then you can go on the path and actually really dive into that. But most people stay in that understanding,
Yes.
but not the experiencing. So if you, and I invite everybody, if you understand something like this, go out and experience it. Find a way to actually be that. And then you don't need to talk about it. You just did.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I might be partway through the mindfuck right now.
I am doing it too, never mind. But it's like where the hilariousness comes in. Like, oh, Jesus.
It's
When do you
back.
uh,
Yep, that's cool. All right. Okay, I've got a few things to tie things up with. Sorry, bear with me for a minute. I've just lost my focus, or have I gained my focus? Hard to say.
how about find your presence and never mind what you wanted to do and see what you feel like doing.
Yeah, that's beautiful advice, which I'm trying to take right now. Weirdly enough, my brain is just quiet right now. It is.
Maybe
It
there's
really
nothing to
is. Maybe. I will. There's a couple of questions I would love to ask though. Um, okay. First one is if there's anybody. Again, I'm pretty sure I know where these answers are going because I get a feel for you and where you're at. But if there was anybody on this planet that you could be connected to, who would you love to connect with for a chat?
Or
So
chat.
that, well, for a chat, for a conversation, for whatever it is you would like to connect with them for. Because if
Well,
our
there is,
listeners know somebody, I want them to connect you.
right, right. Not a specific being, anybody who at least felt that, wait a minute, there must be more to life. Wait a minute, this is not me. Wait a minute, I don't fit. If you ever had that feeling, I'd love to connect with you and give you insight about that feeling, what it means for you. Does it make sense?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It really does.
Anybody
Yeah.
who is curious to find themselves, find out what is their purpose in life, not what is the purpose in life, because what is their purpose in life, for whatever reason we have a purpose, don't ask me, and are curious and want to know more about themselves and how to get there, how to empower themselves. I'd love to connect with these people.
Excellent. Anybody that fits that bill, you know where to go. That's
Careful.
careful. No. Be brave, be courageous, do it. Get on
Yeah.
board. And I think that's one thing that for a lot of us to go to these places that are a bit different takes a fair amount of courage. So even if you're curious, you still need a fair bit of courage because
Yeah.
it's a bit more normal these days than when you took your journey,
Oh, yeah.
but it still takes some courage to reach out for a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way of experiencing life.
It does. And the trick to find that courage is to close your eyes, breathe a little bit, and then examine your life and ask yourself, do I really want to do that for the next 50 years?
There was times in my life where that's a hell no.
It's a hell no. And if it's a hell no, well, you have the choice. Either jump or drag yourself to the grave and do the same thing for the next 50 years and not be grateful, happy, content. What? Yeah?
Yeah,
Grudge, misery. Sure, if you feel like doing that, hey, be my guest. But the courage comes when one really understands and feels, no, I can't, no, no, not that way anymore. So
yeah.
yeah, and I need to have some courage, but that comes because I don't want that.
That all right. That comes around full circle then. Once you've taken that courage because you don't want that, and you get a better understanding of life as you're describing here, and you're more present more often, then the not wanting of that disappears as well. So you could still be doing that
No, you're
because
not
your
doing.
your
You're
preference
not,
goes, doesn't it?
yeah, and it's also like you're not. It's like it's a choice to be in misery or in contentment and gratefulness. At one point, when I experienced the taste of juiciness of being really me and being alive, and getting out of the box into existence, I suddenly don't have a choice anymore. Why would I choose misery? I haven't found a reason, so I'm not doing it. So I'm not miserable because I'm now having a cold and cough and not feeling very energetic. No, it's just a matter of isness, and that's something which experienced many times in this body, because that's
Yes.
part of the story here. So why would I be miserable? No. Why would I do the same thing which doesn't bring me contentment? I'm not. Okay, sometimes like, okay, I wouldn't necessarily love to work in a factory and do some drudgery work. Happened a few times in my life that I decided to do that because I needed money. Stuck in Australia, no money. So I worked in a tin smelter for a few weeks to make some money. But then it was not this, I don't want this kind of life because I don't have it anyways. But I choose now to do that for a certain amount of time because I have a desire or I have a feeling that I need blah, blah, blah. Then I do this, but I'm not identified with the story anymore. So even if I do
Yes.
drudge, it's my choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I think that's similar to what I was trying to say is once you've got
Yeah.
yourself to a place where you just are and you're present with yourself, then what you're doing is the story is melted away about it, and you're
Yeah.
just doing whatever it is you're doing in the moment.
Yes.
So yes,
Exactly.
if you're doing the drudgery, it's because that's what you're doing in the moment.
Yeah. And then it's not drudgery anymore. Then it's
No.
just an experience. And it was an
Yeah.
amazing experience to work in a smelter. It's just,
Well, it would be.
yeah. Yeah. It was fantastic.
Yeah. I personally would go with your few weeks time frame instead of 20 years, but it
Right.
would still be amazing.
Yeah. Would never do that anyway. I couldn't. It's not in my makeup.
Yeah.
But some people, they love their job.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Yeah,
If we find things that bring us more and more joy, why wouldn't we do them?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. One last question for the day.
Okay.
Oh, no, I got two questions. Sorry, just came up with one. Um, so you're currently living in Mexico, right?
Yeah,
And you've basically traveled pretty much all over the world.
yeah.
Why Mexico? And yeah, so what's the reason that you've chosen Mexico right now? Or is there a reason that you've chosen Mexico right now?
Um, Ask existence. All
Okay.
my life, for my traveling, I really never had a goal. I want to go first to India, then I go to Australia, then I go to America, then I go in the South Pacific, then I go back to Hawaii, then I do this or that. I did all that, but it basically always came. Suddenly there was this knowing, okay, I need to get out of the States. Where are we going? Ecuador. Okay. For some reason, no, actually, we went to Peru to do an ayahuasca circle, and then like, oh wow, and I had the okay, I had the knowing that I need to leave the States.
Mm-hmm.
That was done, but not necessarily knew where to go. So without thinking I'm living in Peru, we went to Peru to do some ceremonies, and suddenly Ecuador came. Like, oh no, Ecuador is much nicer than Peru, and because we were kind of looking where to live. So we went to Ecuador, fell in love with it, stayed there for 10 years, and suddenly again, it's done. Where to go? I don't know. So we just hang and wait for a sign, and suddenly there was a conference in Mexico. So we went to Mexico, and wow, this is great. So we stayed. And it's like I am in a place, and at one point in the past, at least, I was always like, okay, this is done. And then I'm seeing what I'm seeing, or what I feel, or what existence shows me, or what sign comes. I'm basically open to change. And then I flow into that direction. And right now it's
Yeah.
Mexico. And I'm always laughing because my mother every week asks me like, so you're gonna stay now? Because she knows years I'm not staying. And I go like, for now, yes. How long? I don't know. I will find out.
That sounds like the conversations I have with my mum. She's like, "So are you living there?" I'm like, "Oh, I am right now."
Exactly, how long? I don't know. And Mexico is amazing because there's a heart-driven culture here.
Hmm.
And I love that people actually, when they ask you how you're doing, they actually want to know the answer.
Yeah.
It's not an automatic story. They want to connect, and they're really heartfelt in general.
Hmm.
And on top of that, you can do what you want. You put a table on the side of the road and sell some food or crystals or clothes. Or, nobody says it.
Yeah.
This is amazing because growing up in Germany and living in the States where you have like gazillion rules before you can even open your door, it's really refreshing to be really sort of free
Yeah.
and basically live your life and do what you want to do. And I had that in India. I would probably perhaps live in India, but the pollution is too intense for me to actually be there. And Mexico just came and at the moment still stays. So I see how long that goes.
Love it. That's awesome. Just just flowing with life the way it should be.
Yeah, because what do I know? Like my brain, I don't know nothing. I'm
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. Like I don't know nothing. I'm a tourist on planet Earth checking out the situation. What do I know? I don't. My heart, my intuition, my higher self does know, and I learned to listen to that.
Yes. Yes. That's awesome. And okay, my last question.
We hang on
If
before.
oh, there's more. Okay, cool.
I need to cough.
Yes.
All
All good.
right.
Where was I? Yes. Last question. So, for anybody that's watching, if they can only remember one thing from this whole conversation, what would you love it to be?
We said a few things which are important, but what comes again is you're perfect.
Ooh, I love it. Boom.
You
Yep.
know? What else
Smack
can I
on.
say?
That's amazing. I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me.
Sure.
I really appreciate it. All of your details will be below on here, so anybody that wants to connect with you will be able to do so really, really easily. And you're inspirational to talk to because
Thank you.
you're living the life that I can see in my future, but I'm not living every day yet. So it's wonderful to talk to somebody that's experiencing life on a level that I can see, but quite, I haven't quite done regularly enough yet.
Um, Let me smack you. In the future, I will be. No, be it right now, even if it's only for a split second. Like, damn, haven't you been listening?
I have, but my brain is very noisy sometimes.
Tell me about it.
Uh, See, but that's the fight. I know it doesn't need to be a fight, but when we're not trained, that is the fight right there. It's like the brain goes and
Yeah,
away you
and then
go.
you remember, oops, I'm in my head.
Yep. Well,
Please
in,
take 2 seconds. You're here.
in which case, I will just say thank you very, very much. Really
You're most
appreciate the conversation. Really appreciate connecting with you. And yeah, it was awesome.
thank you. Yay.
Thank you.